bacteria in the soil can make vitamin B12, and that can actually get incorporated into the plants. And when we eat those plants, we get vitamin B12. Now in today's world, that doesn't always happen. Even organic soil is not nearly what it ideally should be. And yeah, the camera's on me, I get nervous there. I wish but anyway, so in today's world, as a vegan, we may not get an outside source of B12, and we look at that more as a consequence of modern living, more as necessarily as a problem with a vegan. Now, just another interesting thing about B12, we have a good friend of ours who is really, really into growing a lot of his own food. He actually has written books on soil and health, and he's always putting rock dust, and he grows everything biodynamically, and a considerable amount of his diet comes from his own garden. So I was thinking, wow, wouldn't that be a really interesting person to test? Also, 100% raw for well over 20 years. So I thought, wow, wouldn't this be a really interesting person to test? Maybe, you know, in theory. But as it turns out, they were low in B12 and their methylmalonic acid level was high. They didn't wait though. They decided you know, every now and then we get a call, hey, I need some more B12, and that resolved everything. But they weren't willing to wait. I had told them, shared with some of these case histories.
Were they surprised? Did they expect to have enough?
They weren't sure. But the thing is, what's interesting though, is the lab tests showed they were low in B12, but even after over 20 years of being 100% raw vegan, they didn't have any symptoms of B12 deficiency.
So did he need shots? I mean, at that point, did he need shots or?
Who is this? The person I'm currently talking
Yeah.
about? No, they just took a supplement.
And
They didn't have any symptoms.
Okay.
And the tests will show a deficiency long before any symptoms appear. So you're still well within the safe range,
Right.
unless any symptoms appear. Now there are those within the raw food community that say, well, wait till you get the symptoms. And I don't think that's so wise. I think we can use a little bit of modern technology to assess what's going on within our body and head things off at the pass before we have a problem.
So why not take the supplement? I mean, so do raw foodists feel like, you know, you're not supposed to take anything?
There's different raw food camps. Now, Karen mentioned the natural hygiene
Yeah.
camp, and they tend to be very much kind of philosophically purist. Nature provides everything we need. They have sort of a Garden of Eden view of things, and supplements are made out of coal tar, and they're toxic, poisonous things, and a lot of them are, and that's true. But if they take it a little bit too far, in my opinion, then they're just philosophically not into it. They don't want to take supplements because they don't think they're natural.
Yeah.
Whereas the Hippocrates camp, they're into all sorts of different things. Some of it, I think, also goes too far, but I mean, a lot of the beneficial things, the grasses, the algae, the various different supplements, a lot of those are extremely beneficial. And I personally have no philosophical problem with, you do the best you can with diet and lifestyle, and if a few other things can help fill in the gaps to round things off, why not?
Yeah, that makes sense.
But when you see people making the, supplementarians, making their whole basis supplements and saying, oh, I can eat bacon and eggs and I'll just take this and it'll counteract, that's obviously missing the boat. So they have their place.
Have there been any studies with Parkinson's and?
Now, I don't know a lot about Parkinson's. That's a great question. Also, obviously, a neurological thing. Now, with Parkinson's, people have, is it a resting tremor?
I don't know. The person I know that has it has severe
resting
cognitive problems.